Okay, sorry, we're gonna quit messing around with that and get this show on the road.
Okay. Well, I was in the middle of telling them about
Yeah, I was
the
listening.
the council member, and his arteries were so clogged that
My,
they literally gave him 24 hours to live.
that's
And
that's really bad.
yeah. So, I mean, they said that his blockages, this one artery in particular was 99.9% blocked.
Wow,
So,
that's
yeah, no, not
my
good.
dad was at that. My dad was at that place too when he had his blockages were some were 100% blocked. They were bad. So,
Yeah.
hi Treva.
So,
I want to just real quick, Jean. I want to recognize Treva that we will get to your question today in today's broadcast.
okay. So, the other person that was there was Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams, and I've seen him on several occasions. But his story is just absolutely amazing. He had type 2 diabetes, and he had, to the point where he was starting to go blind from the diabetes. His diabetes was so
Wow.
severe. He had neuropathy in his feet and was having a hard time walking. And he was a mess. And I think he said he traveled overseas, something like that. And he was doing so bad that he went into the hospital there, and they did a colonoscopy and an endoscopy, or however you say that, endoscopic, where they stick it down your
Right.
throat,
I
and then
believe
the other
endoscopy
end.
is the right term. Mm-hmm.
So, and they basically said that he had such severe acid reflux and indigestion that he had been burning holes in his esophagus. So,
Wow. That's gotta hurt.
and yeah, and so he went to a doctor, and this doctor helped him to switch over to a plant-based diet. And if you ever get a chance to see him up close and personal, he is like a rock star now. I mean, first of all, he is like a tree trunk. I mean, his body is like hard as a rock. He exercises religiously. He has reversed his blindness. He's reversed the neuropathy. He's reversed his type 2 diabetes and all his other health issues. He's gotten his mother, who is 78, and he said he remembers from as a kid her, injecting herself with insulin. So she's been on insulin most of his life, and he got her to switch. She's 78 years old. He got her to switch to a plant-based lifestyle. She was the last 4 months, and in 4 months of being plant-based, she's gotten off of all of her medication that she's been on most of his life, and is now doing phenomenal.
That's
so,
the power of plant-based, being
absolutely.
plant-based. It's amazing. That's phenomenal.
And the doctor who helped him, I'm going to be interviewing him coming up soon. He's got a fantastic story. He had cerebral palsy as a baby, as an infant. And his father was a medical doctor, and his mother was a researcher for science, in that area. And the two of them did not believe in the medications and the drugs and stuff and the surgeries for the cerebral palsy, which would have put him in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Oh. And he didn't do it. He is amazing. He climbed mountains and rock climbs, and he's completely overcome the cerebral palsy. So I can't wait to hear his full story.
That's going to be powerful.
Oh my gosh. And then he's helped Eric, Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams. And he is doing amazing things in Brooklyn and helping the schools to change. And I believe he just wrote legislation to help them to get meat out of schools.
That's fantastic.
So
this is a tidal wave of movement. This is just powerful. And then April 5th, we've got the next theatrical release of Eating You Alive. If you remember, I brought that DVD with us when we spent a week up on the Cape and watched it.
Absolutely.
Very powerful documentary. So if you can, check the Eating You Alive website at eatingyoualive.com. Put in your zip code and see if there will be a theatrical release in your town. You've got to watch Eating You Alive. James Cameron production. Very good documentary. Worth the $10 or $11 to see it. Absolutely. We've got a great lineup of questions tonight, like Jean was saying. And I think what we want to get going here, but I want to kind of ask everybody if you'll do us a favor and share this live broadcast. So that we could reach as many people as possible. And then at the end of our broadcast, we're going to talk about a couple products that I found, and one that I get through Pure Haven Essentials that I've fallen in love with. But I found this product at Costco.
It's
and
backwards.
Well,
what is it?
I can't do. So what it is, it's called Soak USA 100% all natural, nothing added, once a day, sweet and chewy, gently dried sweet potatoes. They are a good source of fiber, potassium, no sugar added, no preservatives, gluten-free, vegan, and zero fat. And it says right here, please warn, dangerously addictive. So we're going to break this down and talk about this to see if this is Starch Queen approved.
All right.
And then we're going to talk about this amazing toothpaste by Pure Haven Essentials that says right on the front, 100% free of toxins. So I don't know if you guys know how much toxins and chemicals are in toothpaste, but we're going to challenge Jean to talk about toothpaste and why I'm loving this toothpaste. And I'm telling you, I've been really testing a lot of the toothpaste through the health food store brands like Tom's, and this one that was charcoal. We got lots to talk about tonight. So, Jean, let's tackle our first question. So, Martina Stahl has asked the question, is drinking the water from organic steamed vegetables safe? This is also known as pot liquor. Martina says she loves drinking it, but her husband questions the potential for chemicals and organic compounds that could be harmful to the body. Jean, this is a great question for you, especially with your chemistry and environmental sciences background. Woo, this is a great one for you. And you know what? We have to share that this is kind of common now in the plant-based community. A lot of people are adopting this pot liquor drinking, and I can't get my head around it because I was a farm girl. I see how those vegetables grew, and I was an organic produce, certified organic. Nick and I had an organic produce business, and even though they were chemicals, there was still stuff put on those tomatoes to get rid of tomato worms, like diatomaceous earth. So take it away, Jean.
All right. Well, I guess I grew up, my parents were, depression kind of people, and nothing ever went to, waste. So, I guess the idea was to save the, whatever came out and use it as vegetable stock, using it as an additive in cooking and drinking it, like as you mentioned. I also use to water my plants. So, as a good source of nutrients. But, obviously, I mean, we clearly have to be talking about stuff that's organic. I mean, because if it's not organic,
100%.
First of all, we're talking about things that are GMOs. We're talking about the pesticides, the nitrites, from commercially.
Herbicides.
Yeah, the herbicides that, from these, commercially produced fertilizers that can end up in the cooking water, and we don't want to be drinking that. So obviously we're talking about organic, but, the more I keep continuing to research, and as you mentioned, even organic foods are use of pesticides. They're organic, but it's still a pesticide. So, I've used the water from that and used it as a base for soups and things like that. And I didn't think anything of it until she asked me this question. And I went, let me look into this.
Yep.
And to see, where her husband was coming from. And so I found on this website, and again, when you start to do research on the internet, you have to, it's like a box of chocolates.
Research the research.
Yeah. I mean, it's the old Forrest Gump kind of thing. You just never know what you're going to get. And where the person's coming from and their background and where are they getting this information from. So these are all, legitimate questions. But this really, really piqued my interest. This was from healthyhomeeconomist.com. And she said the article was titled, "Should Vegetable Cooking Water Be Saved?" And she said, and this really made me go,
Stop and pause.
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
She said basically that cooking cruciferous vegetables such as broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, kale would add goitogenic or thyroid blocking substances to the water. And I went,
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's especially for people with thyroid disease. You got to think twice about this.
Well, and there's a whole thing about thyroid right now because,
Yeah.
especially because, like, I live in the state of New York, and the state of New York fluoridates their water. And so fluorine is a halogen. Okay, if you look on the periodic table, it's group 7A, it's a halogen, and it's the most electronegative element there is on the periodic table. So they've been saying to add fluoride to the water. Fluoride is pretty toxic. I mean, it's used as rat poison,
Right.
to kill animals. And when they're transporting the fluoride, they have to use huge label warnings at how toxic it is. And we're like, and we're putting this into our water?
Yeah.
Why?
Whose decision was this? Exactly. So
yeah. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But it goes through what's called a single displacement chemical reaction, and it's going to bump out because it's more reactive than iodine. And iodine is what runs our thyroid. Our thyroid runs all the metabolic systems in our body.
Right.
So we've got this fluorine in our body going, kicking out iodine. So we're starting to see a lot of thyroid problems. And could it be tied into this, adding fluorine to the water? Anyway, that's a whole other conversation. But then she went on to say that, water used to boil potatoes would contain chemicals called hemagglutinins that are going to disrupt red blood cell formations. Then she went on to say that dark leafy green vegetables such as beet greens, raw spinach, and chard are going to contain oxalic acid that's going to block calcium and iron absorption. And I'm like going, okay. So wait a minute. So if I'm putting this into a soup, is this coming out in the soup? And this is just making me go, this is making me crazy now. Because my antennas are going up and going, okay, are these chemicals going into the foods that I'm eating now? Like if I make a soup and I put broccoli in the soup and I make a non-dairy, cheese broccoli soup.
Yeah. No, because having thyroid disease and now, off my thyroid medication, my antennas went up and I went, this can't be good. So there's got to be more to this story.
I know. Well, and then she went on to say that vegetable cooking water that is safe, she says, cooking water from organic root vegetables, carrots, turnips. Now, she says potatoes in this, but then she says water used to boil potatoes is going to contain these chemicals. But then she goes on to say that it's okay to use root vegetables. So I'm confused here. And then she says, potatoes, parsnips, beets, organic squash, including zucchini, organic vegetables from Lily, that's the onions, leeks, garlics, and then the nightshades, which is tomatoes, eggplants, peppers, and it can be safely used. But then, so there's, some confusion there about the potatoes. So that's, but this is just making me go, what? What?
Yeah.
So, we need, the bottom line is, Martina, I don't know now. I don't know the answer. Because, we've got a range of answers that we found, and I just, in basic, internet surfing, this is what I found, and I need to investigate this more. So I don't have a good answer for you.
Yeah, it left me unsettled.
It did, me too.
And I said, again, this is what Jean was talking about, where you need to research the research because it's unsettling, and where's the science behind it? Because my first thought is, okay, so the steam is getting into the food and we put water in the pot. So we know the source of our water, but then what exactly is coming off the skin? What's going into the water? So this left me unsettled, and I just don't know that I would say yes or no. Either way, it would make me say I need to find out more to it.
So yeah, this is going to be definitely something I'm going to be looking into, and I don't know how soon I'll have an answer.
Yeah,
because this is not something that I've heard anything about.
Yeah,
this is the first time hearing this
thing.
Me too. Because I just healed my thyroid and got off my thyroid medication.
Yeah.
So.
So I'm going to say the Starch Queens are going to take a unified stance on this, that I personally would not drink it until it's been further researched. That's my stance on it.
Well,
because I have had thyroid disease.
Well, I think the bottom line is until you can do a spectroscopic analysis.
Exactly.
Of it. I mean, I don't have the laboratory situation to do that.
Right.
Until I have, that kind of analysis, I'm kind
Cautious.
of going, what?
Yeah.
What about soups? What am I doing with soups?
Right.
And that thing. So I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
I'm kind of, it's made my antennas go up, but on the other hand, it's like, okay, I've been making soups for, I don't know, my whole life.
Yeah.
Haven't died
we all
yet.
live on them.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly. Yeah. But it makes you kind of wonder about the whole, that whole goiterogenic. But I did read a lot of research on the goiterogenic foods being cruciferous. And like Dr. McDougall says, is that you'd have to literally eat truckloads of raw cruciferous vegetables daily to get a goiter going inside of you from eating these cruciferous vegetables. And once I made that connection with when Dr. McDougall said that in his newsletter, and I was like, okay, that made me feel a lot better, because I absolutely love cruciferous vegetables. And today I had steamed broccoli, steamed cauliflower, and steamed Brussels sprouts.
Did you drink the liquid?
Nope. No. And I had no desire to. And it just, but that's not before, I wouldn't have done it even before this question was asked, because I just don't think it tastes good. I'm not into it. I don't like hot drinks anyway. And I just, it's not my thing. So I don't do it. But we're going to definitely find out if it's safe or unsafe.
Hopefully, we may not. We may not ever get an answer.
We might not ever. So, but it was an absolutely fantastic question. We appreciate that. It was a good one. That was a good one.
That made me go,
Exactly. Yeah. So this one is going to tackle, Jean, on dishwasher soap. And this is where, Starch Queens, our program is the trifecta. It's about living a whole food plant-based lifestyle. And we educate you on what goes in your body, on your body, fitness, and environment and chemicals, and your cosmetics and everything that's part of our environment and our cosmetics. We want everything to be safe and environmentally friendly, cruelty-free, and healthy for you so that you can live your best life. So our next question is more of an environmental, toxic, chemical question. So what is with dish soap, Jean, and those little pods that you can get now for your dishwasher soap, or the Tide Pods? I've even heard that kids are using these Tide Pods as some kind of, they're eating them? What's with that? I mean, what's in dishwasher soap that makes the food, the chemicals work? I had a friend that once said, "Oh, I don't pre-rinse my dishes because the chemicals in the dishwasher soap dissolves the food." And then I got to thinking, ooh, chemicals that dissolve food? What's that doing to my dishes? I mean, what am I getting any of that residue?
Right. So, good question. And I went to my trusty source, which is the Environmental Working Group, ewg.org. And they have a database for products that are, they do have it for the cosmetic database, and it's not just cosmetics, it's shampoo, deodorant, toothpaste, all the stuff that you would put on your skin. But they also have one for cleaning products. So I went in and started looking into the dishwasher soap and detergents and things. So here's some of the chemicals that are of concern. So, like, for example, some of them use an oxygen bleach component called sodium borate, and this has issues with acute toxicity to aquatic life, number one. Number two, damaging unborn children, and causing issues there. A water softener is often used containing ingredients that are potential for damage to vision, biodegradation, and causing severe eye irritation as well. And if these kids are taking these packages and playing with them, and they're getting some of these chemicals, it takes 26 seconds literally that you have a chemical on your hand to get into your bloodstream.
Scary
fragrances stuff. It is, and a lot of these things use fragrance. Okay, and anytime you're using fragrance, first of all, any products that you want to buy, you want to make sure that they're fragrance free, because the fragrances, they use that term fragrance to hide a lot of chemicals in them. And one of the major ones is called phthalates, which are huge endocrine disruptors. Your endocrine system regulates all the hormones that are in your body. Okay, so in this case, with the fragrances are evidence of skin irritation, allergies, acute aquatic toxicity, and respiratory issues. Okay, then they use another chemical called dipropylene glycol, which is, again, has issues with developmental, reproductive
I've heard
symptoms.
of that.
Yep, and it will have an impact on your endocrine system, okay? Where was it? Oh, and damage to DNA. Wow. I mean, that's happening at the cellular level, so that could cause some serious issues, down the road. Another thing that they like to use is colors. They have little blue specks and the color, things like that.
Green.
So these are ingredients that are definitely potential for cancer, damage to DNA, skin irritation, allergies, just not good stuff. Another one is called alcohol ethoxylates, and these, again, very chronic aquatic toxicity, cancer, development, endocrine problems, and reproductive issues. Another one is called zinc sulfate, which causes skin irritation, allergies, damage to, the environment, to you. Another one is cocamide DNA, which is a cancer concern. And again, aquatic toxicity, and that's another issue. This one's a mouthful, and I don't know if I'm going to say it right because I always trip my tongue over it. It's called methylethiazolinolone.
Whoa, it's got to be bad.
Oh my God! And this is used in a lot of personal care products, and this is some seriously toxic stuff. High concern on this one: acute aquatic toxicity, skin irritations, allergies, huge damage at the cellular level. Okay. Another chemical that's used also in the dishwasher detergents, but also used in a lot of personal care products, is sodium lauryl sulfate.
Heard of that one.
This is a huge one. Again, chronic aquatic toxicity, damage to the DNA, respiratory issues, developmental issues, issues to your endocrine system, reproductive issues, okay, digestive system effects, nervous system effects, okay, and damage to vision, and of course carcinogenic.
And this is all approved, and this is
no. Okay, no. There is no approval here.
Oh.
There is no approval. There is no regulation at all in the United States. They can put anything that they want into these products, and they do. And I kind of grew up thinking, I was very naive, thinking that if it's on a shelf someplace, that somewhere along the line, somebody has said this is okay for
There's a lab back there.
Right.
And they're testing it, and they're stamping it approved. Won't hurt you.
No.
We're so naive.
We are.
We're so trusting.
We're trusting. Europe has a whole different approach. It's called the precautionary principle, where you have to prove whatever it is that you're going to be marketing or selling is not toxic to the environment or to humans before you can get permission to sell it. Not here in the United States. I mean, and they've banned so many chemicals. And when companies from here in the United States go to sell to Europe, they have to reformulate because completely different products, okay? It's a whole different ballgame. My stepdaughter's in Germany, and when she comes over here, she brings, products, and I'm like sitting there looking at them going, yeah, this is not what we have in the U.S.
Wow.
It's a totally different product.
Yeah.
But wait a minute, let me go on to this, going back to this.
Go ahead, go for it.
So this, and here's the bigger question, because, with the dishwasher, it gets pretty much rinsed, and the high heat in there is going to pretty much dissolve the stuff. But, and I'm not too concerned about it being on our plates. Where I'm concerned about it is when it goes down the drain. And here's the biggest problem is out of sight, out of mind.
So true.
When it goes down the drain, it goes into the municipal water processing treatment plant. And these plants are not designed for all of these toxic chemicals. They're not.
No, so they don't look for it.
No. And what happens is the water that comes back in, that you have flushed down your drain from the dishwasher,
your gray water,
your sink, your gray water.
Mm-hmm.
It goes through a basic filtration system, which takes out the big chunks. Then typically what they do, and there's different variations along the way, but typically they will throw some chlorine onto it to kill whatever's growing in the water. Okay? More chemicals. But then they aerate it to try and get some of the chlorine out of it. And then the only water that is federally regulated is the water that comes out of your tap. And they say that this has to be have a pH of either 7 or right around 7, very close to it. So it has to be slightly alkaline. And so what they do, because the water is so oxidizing and so acidic from all these chemicals in it, that what they do is they add more chemicals to raise the pH up. For example, like sodium hydroxide. Last time I checked, that's what we use in Drano, okay? To basically, you know, dissolve the hair, the oil, and stuff that gets clogged into our pipes.
It's no wonder that America is dying of cancer. Holy cow.
So this is my big concern. So I went on to, there are some on the EWG, if you go on there, they rate them on a scale of A to F, A being the best, F being the worst. So you can go on and do your own research, or Pure Haven Essentials, I just want to get this out there, has a dishwasher detergent product, and it's not in a little packet. It just comes in a jar, you know, in a package, and you scoop it out with a little scoop, and you just put it into it. Fantastic. It cleans the dishes amazing. And everything from Pure Haven Essentials is non-toxic. So for me, it's a no-brainer to find a company that's completely non-toxic. If you're interested in these products, you can contact Nancy or I, because we're consultants for the company. We don't do this because we're trying to market and sell things. The bottom line is, for us, we do this because this is another tool in our toolbox. And when I purchase these products, and if you come to my house, seriously, it's like I'm like a walking billboard for Pure Haven, because that's all I use. And it's one less worry for me, because it's taken it off my worry list. I don't have to even think about it.
Right. And that's where you do 100% Pure Haven. But I have under my kitchen sink is the Pure Haven, but I also like the Honest Company too. The Honest Company is a product that you can get online, and you're starting to see the products in department stores like Target, Costco's carrying of them. And they're like, Pure Haven is number one. There's absolutely no toxins there, no chemicals, pure, wonderful product. Then there's Honest Company, that is the next level of removing the chemicals out. But did you guys all see that article that was about the fish that they got they tested the water and the fish up in Seattle, and the salmon had a laundry list this long of all the chemicals that were being leached from the water treatment plant into this stream, and these fish were just loaded with all of these chemicals. And people are eating these fish, they're eating these chemicals, and it's just it's a terrible situation. So
that's how Pure Haven started, was by a girl who was 14 at the time. She'd read the Environmental Working Group. They'd done what's called a body burden test on teenagers. And this report came back because these teenagers were using all these personal care products that had some tremendous amount of toxins. And we don't realize how many toxins there are in these personal care products. They have like over 300. It's ridiculous. It's close to 300 chemicals from these personal care products. And we're walking guinea pigs, because we don't know what this chemical and this chemical is going to do down the road to our bodies. So she was horrified by this report at 14. And she says, okay, I'm going to buy my way out of this. So she started looking for products that were non-toxic. And this was a while ago, and she didn't find any. So at 15, she said, I'm going to start this company. And she did at 15.
Yeah,
so,
it was a good one.
I've got to meet her, and she's just, I want to be her when I grow up. You know, I mean,
well, she did a good thing for our environment. She's done a good thing. She's got a lot of products that are non-toxic, and we'll get back to that in a little bit more. But that was a really great question about the dishwasher soap, and I really like how you explained how it's out of sight, out of mind, because when we just put it in our dishwasher and we close the door, we don't think about the secondhand smoke effect of these chemicals going down the drain. And even if you're not on the city septic system, and that's coming back to the water treatment center, like my friend Andy Wilhoit, he's very big on streams and what goes out into the environment. So like for me, I'm on a septic system. It's going into my septic tank, but that gray water is going out into the dirt, and it's going into the plants, and it's going into the trees and the aquifers. And I'm, a couple miles from the Sacramento River. So it's all of us, is all working its way out to the river. So everything that we do impacts the environment, but it also impacts our health. And that's the main thing, is it impacts our health.
Let me tell you this one. We were living in the other town. We lived in Ridgefield, Connecticut before. We've moved since then. But we had a well. And I come home one day, and my husband is out. We had a very long driveway, and it was all gravel. And I come out, and he's got one of those things where it's pumped up, and it's got the chemicals inside, and it's pumped up, and it's a sprayer. And he's out spraying the driveway with pesticides. And I said, what are you doing? I'm killing the weeds. What do you think I'm doing?
Everybody does it.
I said, what? I said, not even 300 feet away was our well. I said, do you see how close we are to the well? And he's like, never thought about that. I'm like, yeah, you're going to stop that right this minute.
Yeah, you got to think about those things. It's dangerous, but that was a good question, and thank you. But I want to circle back real quick to Martina. Martina commented, and she said that Chef AJ drinks the pot liquor with both, whether it's organic or not organic. And Martina, I want to just comment on that, you know, I don't know what to say. You know, I honestly don't know what to say. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it until I knew whether or not it was truly a good, healthy, health-promoting activity to do. I wouldn't ever do anything just because somebody else is doing it, just because somebody that anybody may do it or may not do it. I want to know the science. I want to know the research. So I always tell everybody, do the research and research the research, because we can't sit here and tell you if you're going to gain any health benefits from it or not, or if you're going to have any detrimental health effects from it. So, you know, we're going to say drink with caution until it's more determined. So that's what I got to say about Chef AJ drinking it. And I know she's drinking it because I gave her the purple clean canteen that she's drinking it out of. And so I just don't, I don't know. I wouldn't do it. And that's where I'm going to leave it at that. But
okay. Well, Kat had a good question.
She did, and I was just going to talk about that one too. So go for it.
Well, are Scentsy burners bad? I don't know what a Scentsy burner is.
So Scentsy burner, it's a direct marketing company, and they're a little cute little like pots. They have a light bulb that goes in there, and the heat melts these waxes. So the wax is infused with scents. So hear the play on words, Scentsy. The name of the company is Scentsy because it's scented wax. So you drop these little hard pods of wax into a Scentsy burner. They're called burners, and they melt the wax, and then they omit the aroma from the wax. Now, I don't know if it's from essential oils or from phthalates. I don't know.
Well, that's the question, is what is and I don't know anything about this company, Scentsy, because I said, I stick with the Pure Haven. I don't even deviate. I mean, if I can't get it from Pure Haven, then I have to research the company to make sure whatever it is that I'm going to be using is 100% toxic free, because that is something that I'm huge on. And so I don't know enough about that. But I mean, if you're using a wax, first of all, wax is petroleum products. That's not good. So you're doing that. But if you're burning something, you're putting it out into the air, that's another thing. We're inhaling it. But I would have to know what is the source of the scent, because I am not a big proponent of anything with scents in it at all, unless you know where it's coming from. Like Pure Haven, all they use is essential oils that is USDA certified organic. And we know where the source is coming from, and they know where they're getting it and how it's being produced. So I'm okay with that, with the scents that they use in Pure Haven. But I don't know where Scentsy's getting it. And like I said, the word scent or fragrance hides a lot of chemicals, because they say, oh, it's proprietary information, and I don't want to put what's on there because I don't want my competitors. Are you kidding me? Stop it. Give that to any analytical chemist, and they can tell you in 10 minutes what it is. So... Oh, she says Scentsy uses a food-grade petroleum-based wax. Well, okay, petroleum is not good to begin with. That's huge.
Petroleum is not food grade. It comes from that's petroleum.
Well, okay, when heated, paraffin wax releases the toxins. Oh my God, formaldehyde! Oh my God, do you know what formaldehyde is? Formaldehyde is what we used to use in the biolab to preserve dead animals. Okay,
yeah, I think it still is used for that. Yeah.
No. They had to stop.
Formaldehyde anymore?
No. They've changed it to a little bit different composition. Still pretty nasty stuff, but they stopped using the formaldehyde because teachers were getting so sick. Like
Oh,
you would open up the within the bio lab, and you knew when dissection was taking place in the science lab, because the whole wing would be disgusting smelling, and it was
yeah,
the
that's
formaldehyde,
gross.
and the teachers were getting sick.
This
So
is,
they
yeah.
use a different chemical very similar to formaldehyde, but
Oh, wow.
formaldehyde is some seriously nasty stuff. And
Well, I like,
all the other chemicals that you listed, Misty, wow.
yeah, the paraffin wax. I mean, paraffin we know is a bad thing anyway. So I am guilty as charged. I have Sensi's in my home. But I want to say something real quick about what Jean was saying about organic essential oils. I mean, Jean really is, we both like the company Pure Haven Essentials, but I feel comfortable that if you can source any organic essential oil that you can use is better than anything like Sensi, then you would
Oh
know, and you would want
gosh.
to make sure it's pure
Yeah.
organic oil, then you're fine. You're
Yep.
fine with that as long as it's organic. And I got one of those diffusers. And so I use my water from my water filtration system, and I drop 3 or 4 drops of my essential oil into the diffuser, and it smells so much better than any
Mm-hmm.
Scentsy burner ever has in my home. I'm in love with these diffusers, and I really like the fact that I do not have to worry about what I'm inhaling. So I want everybody to understand inhaling is an activity, just like when you inhale secondhand smoke, you can inhale these parabens and toxins into your system just
Mm-hmm.
like secondhand smoke. So we got to always think about those connections there. And Misty says, Jean, you have really got me staying away from anything that has fragrance as an ingredient. That's good. Pat Runner
Step
says the
one.
package, step one, Pat Runner says the package doesn't list anything. I have them too. Exactly. You know, it's amazing how they don't list these things. And I say, shame on you for not listing them.
And that's
Shame
one
on the
thing that
company.
that's one thing that
Yeah.
Pure Haven, they have open. I mean, they list everything on their products, everything, and
Yeah.
I mean everything. And you can get, and
They're
then not
open
only
book.
that, not only that, but they, anytime I sell something or somebody buys products from me, I send them a huge document that gives gives a list, a summary of all or all the ingredients that are in it. But then it breaks it down ingredient by ingredient by ingredient. Why is this ingredient in there? What's it used for? How is it used in the product? So that you have an understanding of what this is.
Right.
Okay. But what I love about it is that you know and recognize all the ingredients. So
Yeah, it's just
yeah,
we have to be safe. I mean, I've got my
yeah,
brother who's got got melanoma cancer, and we've got friends starting chemotherapy. We've got so many people who are obese in this country, so many people with heart disease, so many people with all kinds of different autoimmune disorders. And we
yeah,
have to look at everything. And that's why Gene and I with the Starch Queens look at it as the trifecta approach.
yeah.
You know, you've got what goes in and on your body and fitness. It's so important. So that's a real eye opener on the sense. That was a great question.
Yeah.
So, all right, next question. Cindy from Seattle asks, I want to start a plant-based lifestyle, but my friends and family keep telling me I won't get enough protein, iron, or cancer. Well, you don't want you to get that. Calcium, meant to say calcium. Get enough protein, iron, or calcium. What should I tell them?
Well, my knee-jerk reaction to anytime people go, well, where are you getting your protein from? My knee-jerk reaction right back at them is, do you even know how much protein you're supposed to have?
Right.
Or calcium?
I didn't. I didn't know until I
Do you
educated
even know?
myself.
And that's,
Right.
because they're like, no.
And I took
I
nutrition
really don't.
classes in college, at Butte College, at Butte Community College.
Yeah.
I took several nutrition classes. Granted, it was in the 80s, but still, I didn't leave there knowing what my daily nutritional protein intake should be.
Right. So go ahead and take that away because I'm.
So what they told me was, you need to eat your meat. So, that's again, the school's school. So what I tell my friends and family, and what I told them when I was wanting to adopt a plant-based lifestyle, is I made it very simple. I said, I have tried and failed at every single diet there is. I failed at Weight Watchers. I failed at Jenny Craig. I failed at Nutrisystem. I failed at the Scarsdale diet. I failed at the Atkins diet. because it never felt right. I never felt good. I would lose and gain and lose and gain and was the queen of the yo-yo. So it didn't feel right. So I told my friends and family that I'm doing this because I am fat, I am sick, and I am sick of being fat. And I'm going to try something again. And I watched Forks Over Knives, and it resonated with me, and I believed, and I checked up on it, and I researched it, and this whole thing called this China study, and I read the book. And if you're somebody that can reason with the science and it clicks, you'll do it and you'll understand it and you'll never turn back. So I just told my friends and family, I'm going to try this because it makes sense. It makes sense, and I don't know how much protein I need, and I don't know how much calcium I need, and I don't know how much iron I need, but I know whatever I'm getting from animals isn't making me healthy. And so I just need to be healthy right now, and I'm going to give this a try and see if it sticks. And well, it's been 6 years, and then I released 105 pounds. I released thyroid medicine. I released, fatty liver syndrome, allergy medication. My skin cleared up. My fibrocystic breast tissue is now completely normal. I'm on no more thyroid medicine. So it's not about knowing how many grams of protein you need, how many grams of calcium, how many grams of iron or units of iron that you need. Don't get caught up in those types of little things. Yeah, they're important, but unfortunately, most people don't know how much we need on a daily basis. So we just know that we're going to try it and talk to your doctor. I always tell everybody before you start any lifestyle change, talk to your doctor. Your doctor is going to tell you what the requirements are that you should have, and whether you get those on a daily basis. Some days you will, some days you won't. But my daughter's pediatrician, who I love dearly, I would get all nutty about making sure my girls got those iron, all those requirements every day, because I wanted to be a great mom. But Dr. Miller said, Nancy, calm down. It's not what they eat in a day. It's what they eat in a week. And when he said that, it was like that clicked and it made sense. So I got more relaxed with, not trying to get everything in every single day. And so I just make sure that people understand that the plants, legumes, tubers, all of these have protein in them. They all have calcium in them. They all have, iron is in big leafy greens like spinach, so eat a wide variety of these types of plant-based foods. You're going to cover all of your vitamin and mineral requirements except for B12. Well, B12 and it's not get obsessed about it and just tell your friends and family you're going to give it a try and do your thing. Walk on the wild side. Don't go with the pack. Don't be a sheep. Do it if it feels right for you, because that's what I did. I was the only one of our friends, the only one of our family members that went away from the standard American diet, and it's been amazing. It's been life-changing. And so, right. It's okay to be different.
Well, I like Doug Lyle's approach. And he basically does not try to explain it. He just basically says, well, and you don't want to try cutting off. And if you ever get a chance to listen to some of his stuff, he really talks about how to deal with it from the, aspect, not from the numbers say, but basically saying that I'm reading this book and I haven't finished reading it, but I thought I'd give it a shot and it seems to be working for me. So I'm just going to keep trying it. And, I've had my protein tested by the doctor and he seems to be fine. So I'm not going to be too worried about it, but it seems to be working for me. And that's what and he says, if you try this approach, then you're not confronting anybody. Right. You're not challenging them. You're not defending what you're doing. You're just saying, I'm just trying this. I haven't really read the book.
And you're not making them feel bad about the way they're eating.
Exactly. And you're just basically you're not showing off your knowledge of other, because when I first started doing this, I tried to tell my whole family, and they were like, do you realize we don't care?
Yeah, there's that too.
You know, do you realize no one wants to know about this? Do you understand we don't want to hear about this? And I'd be like, are you guys, come on, you guys. And part of it is, you know, because I'm the baby of the family, and it doesn't matter if I knew, you know, if I was a medical doctor or whatever, they still wouldn't listen because I'm the baby of the family. It's the, you know, the dynamics within a family.
The family dynamic.
Thank you. Anyway, but the bottom line is, you know, instead of trying to confront them, just basically say, you know, I read this book and I haven't really finished it, so you're not coming across as authoritative. A know-it-all. So you're just like, yeah, well, I thought this sounded like a pretty good idea. I'm going to give it a shot. And, you know, I've talked with my doctor and he's tested my protein and he says it's fine. So I'm just going to keep trying it. So instead of trying to come up with the numbers.
It's hard though. It's hard though when you know how good you feel and the health that you've gained from this lifestyle. It's so hard to not be infectious with the excitement and the truth. And so, again, back to Cindy's, answer Cindy's question, it comes back down to, I love what Dr. Lyle says and what Jean shared with us on how to approach friends and family. And it also comes down to, I always like to get into people's head is that fear stops most people from trying new things. Fear also prevents people from making decisions that are out of their comfort zone. So step away from the fear. And it's okay to be trying something new and make the decision to give it a try. It can change your life.
Absolutely. Well, it's changed both of ours.
It's changed both of ours. And we know thousands of people that it has changed their lives as well. Cured stage 4 cancers in many cases. Reversed rheumatoid arthritis, reversed osteoarthritis, reversed many autoimmune diseases. And so
multiple sclerosis. My husband's evidence
fatty liver
of that.
syndrome. Again, it's so infectious. And that's why, what brought Jean and I doing our Starch Queens live events is so that we can share this information with all of you. So that was a great question, Cindy. And we would love to have you join our Starch Queens program. So if you're interested, go to starchqueens.net or sqweightloss.com. And we would love to help you get transferred to get transitioned.
Yeah, we discuss a lot of these topics. We talk about things, you know, how to deal with the family, how to deal with family and friends and issues and how to respond to these people. And we talk about food addiction. We talk about all these problems it's not just about weight loss. I mean, because weight loss
lifestyle.
It's lifestyle. It's changing your health destiny from all different perspectives. And it's also changing your head because you have to start getting into and figuring out why. And I love this quote, and I'm not sure who said it, but it's not our responsibility that we got this. I mean, it's not our fault that we got this way, but it is our responsibility. Yeah. Okay. So you have to take responsibility to change yourself, to do this and realize that we are addicted to the foods. And I'll be the first to go, hi, I'm Jean Schumacher. I'm a food addict. Okay.
But a lot of this is truly marketing and television and advertising and fast foods and big pharma and big food industries that's constantly pounding our brains from the day we're born. We are literally brainwashed into salt, sugar, and fat consumption, and our brains get chemically dependent on it. And you get this cycle, this merry-go-round that you can't get off of unless you literally draw this line in the sand and have no more caffeine, no more sugar, no more oil, and eliminate those from your diet. I mean, having a calm brain is the most amazing thing. I never thought that being off and on caffeine my whole life, I sleep at night. I mean, being 55 and postmenopausal and having now for the first time in years a solid night of sleep is directly related to me 100% giving up caffeine. And that Calm Brain is, you can't buy it. Let me just tell you,
I know.
cannot buy it.
I know.
If I could buy it, I guarantee you I would. There is not enough lavender oil in the world. There's not enough valerian root in the world, or melatonin root in whatever it is in the world, for that I could get a whole night's sleep before. But I mean, last night I woke up this morning I woke up, I have Alexa, and I said, before I go to bed, Alexa, set alarm for 6 o'clock in the morning. And she woke me up this morning, and I laid my head down at 10:15, 10:30 last night, and I slept all night. And it's because I have no caffeine in my body. And yeah, it was a little sketchy coming off that caffeine. And I'm telling you, take a couple of weeks to get through the lethargy, the listlessness. But once you summit that hill and come down the backside, oh, it's amazing. And I wake up in the morning, I'm refreshed, and I feel great. So those are the benefits of, detoxing your body from all those things that the fast food industries, the candy and the cookie and the potato chip industry is wanting us to eat. So we just got to let that stuff go. All right. Great question, Cindy. And she also mentions, can you lose weight on eating whole food plant-based? Yep. Lost 105 pounds. Jean's at just about 100 pounds.
I'm almost at it. You'll hear me scream when I hit the 100-pound mark.
Yep. So when your body's healing, the weight releases. But there's a lot to that too, because I plateaued for a long time. And so I incorporated intermittent fasting, and the principles of mine and Jean's program is intermittent fasting, along with calorie density, lifestyle choices, and getting inside your head to remove those emotional eating triggers. That's what our program is all about, and it's working really well. And fitness, of course, we're doing great things. So that was a good question. So now Jean and Nancy. Let me see what our next question is. Let me see if we have any up here. I like how Chris talks about she has no interest in defending her position. If somebody wants to know, they can research it themselves. That's very true. If anyone else's feed is freaking out, she sounds like she's rapping, laugh out loud. So I hope that our feed, if everybody can hear us, we're going to keep going. Hopefully there's not a problem. So now we're going to talk about a quick product that was found at Costco. This is called, I'll spell it out, SOKUSA. So Sakusa. I think it's a play on words. It's SOKUSA. And what these are sweet and chewy, gently dried sweet potatoes. So to the unknowing eye, this would be a score, raise the roof. Finally, you can get a plant-based snack that is prepackaged, grab and go, and a snack. Like it's even in a potato chip size bag. How cool is that? So I'm going to look at the ingredients first and foremost, and it says it's 100% sweet potato and nothing else. Like that a lot. I like that it says that it's vegan, 0 fat, no sugar added, gluten-free, no preservatives. What I don't like is that it's not organic, because memory serves, sweet potatoes, are they on the Dirty Dozen, Jean?
I can't remember.
I can't remember.
I don't think it is on the Dirty Dozen.
I don't think they're on the Dirty Dozen, but I like to have my potatoes organic.
Check.
Okay, you check real quick. You're our scientist, in-house scientist. So that's my only downside, is I would like to see this at least say non-GMO, but I want to talk about the back. The facts are on the back. Because in this, really cute, pretty, I love the packaging. I'm going to grab this and I'm going to eat the whole thing. Okay, because it's small, all right? You get hungry, eat the whole thing. But what I want to talk about here is the serving size. The serving size is 2.5 servings per container. So are you going to take this and only take a half a cup out, 40 grams? 40 grams or a half a cup. So we're talking a half a cup. So we're talking a little bit.
Sweet potatoes are on the Dirty Dozen.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so again, one strike against it. It's not organic. The serving size, again, is a half a cup, and the calories per serving are 130. So the total calories in this package is 320 calories. But
so is that because it's dehydrated?
Yes, because this is calorie density. This is a perfect example of calorie density because the water's been removed. So when the water is removed, the calories increase, the size goes down. So instead of this gigantic sweet potato, they've taken a lot of sweet potatoes, shrunk them down through dehydration. So to fill up this bag, there could be maybe 2 or 3 big sweet potatoes in here. And we know that a big sweet potato is going to have about 150 calories in it. So this would tell us that this would have about 2 full-size sweet potatoes in it. And so 320 calories. But the good side of it being a snack is that it does have, let's see, it has...
Does it have added salt?
It has no added salt. No, the ingredients are 100% sweet potatoes. And then it also says that there's 5 milligrams of sodium, but that's just because that's intrinsic. But no added sodium. There's 11 milligrams, or in the package, there's 27 milligrams of calcium, 1 milligram of iron, 740 milligrams of potassium in the bag, or 300 milligrams of potassium. So these are a great source of potassium. So they are.
Just eat the sweet potato.
Yeah, it's a sweet potato. So calorie
No, but
dense,
eat the real sweet potato.
Eat the whole sweet potato. Yeah, eat the whole sweet potato. So this is great for if you're backpacking or hiking, but this is not something that you want to sit around and eat as a snack, because every calorie matters, even a plant-based calorie, when it's dehydrated and taken from its original form. Anytime you dehydrate or freeze dry something, you're increasing the calorie density of it. So, but again, this is still a win in my book, that it's a great source for a snack, and my dogs love them. They love them, and they're super expensive. So these are not cheap. They're really expensive. That's kind of the other down thing. But again, still a step forward for the food industry and for this company. I'm going to write them and ask them if they can give us an organic version. I would like an organic version. Real quick, we talked about Pure Haven Essentials. I have been I've been on a personal quest to get the perfect toothpaste, one that I like the taste and one that cleans my teeth. And I've had a lot of dental problems in my life with having braces. I had the old 1970 tin grin, the bands around the teeth. So I had a million cavities when those suckers came off, and I've been battling cavities and root canals. I have an implant. And so toothpaste is a big deal for me. And so when I first read about what this see that black line? Jean, can you tell us what the black line is?
No. What is it?
Okay. So this is an indicator. There's either a black line, a white line, or a red line. And this is an indicator of the amount of chemicals that are in the toothpaste. You don't ever want a toothpaste that has a red line. Okay, if you're watching this, folks, I want you to all run to your bathroom, grab your toothpaste, and tell me if you have a red line or a black line on your toothpaste. And even though this is Pure Haven Essentials, you can see the long list of ingredients. But I will read you the ingredients really quick. I'm going to read this really fast. Aloe barbonatus. Is that how you say it, Jean? Mm-hmm. Organic aloe vera juice, vegetable glycerin, kosher non-GMO, calcium carbonate, bentonite clay, and xanthan gum, bambusa vulgaris, which is bamboo powder, radish root, ferment filtrate, sodium bicarbonate, baking soda, caludina marigold flower extract, echinacea extract, organic golden seal extract, mentha piperita organic peppermint, organic spearmint, essential oil, cinnamon, organic cinnamon leaf, essential oil, eugenia, and organic clove oil. So there's no toxins, no chemicals. Everything in here is what seems to be from a plant origin. So, or, sodium bicarbonate, bamboo powder. This is a win in my book, and it actually tastes good. It smells good. It's got a nice white color to it, and it's chemical free. Therefore, it makes it my product of the week choice.
Well,
for toothpaste.
one of the things that makes me absolutely insane, especially for many toothpastes.
Oh, Crest is a bad one. Somebody just posted about Crest
Yeah,
having a red line. Yeah, no,
yeah.
Crest. Crest used to be my favorite toothpaste, but no more.
Well, the government has recently banned, especially for hand sanitizers, they were using a chemical called triclosan. And triclosan I mean, in terms of the environment, triclosan is actually registered with the government as a pesticide. Okay.
Right.
And they banned it in the hand sanitizers because I was an elementary principal for a while. And we used to, because you'd have 20 minutes to take the kids into lunch, especially for an elementary kid. All right. So you'd line the kids up and they would pump, put the hand sanitizers, because to take the kids into the bathroom to wash their hands with soap and water would take 20 minutes. I mean, to get a whole classroom in.
Right.
So they would line the kids up and put hand sanitizers in, and they would put the hand sanitizers on several times a day. And the kids were getting sick from the triclosan that was in this. So they said, okay, the government said, all right, we're going to ban it from hand sanitizers. But it's still okay to use in toothpaste and deodorant. What?
Right. I know. Where does that come from? Where does that come from?
You're going to ban it in one thing, but it's okay for toothpaste and deodorant and other things. Stop it.
Well, yeah, so your armpits are so sensitive with your lymph nodes that right there in your mouth, you're ingesting it. That just makes me scratch my head and go, oh, it makes me crazy.
It does. It makes me want to beat my head up against the wall.
Yeah.
Because, and
we can't win. We can't win.
Many of the toothpastes still have triclosan in it. So look on the back ingredients. Start looking at the back of your ingredient for your toothpaste and look to see if you have triclosan.
Yeah.
That's one of the most, pretty toxic stuff in there.
Yeah.
But do yourself a favor, do your research, go on to the Environmental Working Group, go onto the cosmetic database. They rate them on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the best, 10 being the worst. You want to pick some toothpaste or all your personal care products that have 1s. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this is one thing that I don't understand about the Environmental Working Group. Like, for example, I don't know how they're doing this, but they rate an overall thing that says the product has a rating of 1, but then they rate each individual ingredient. And so you might have 3 or 4 ingredients that might have a 6 or a 5 or a 3 or a 2 or whatever. But how could they rate the overall ingredient to be a 1 when you've got some ingredients in there that are rated much, much higher than a 1? I don't know. I mean, the Environmental Working Group is a good place to start, but you want to look at the ingredients and see what's inside of it. So anyway.
And we want everybody that's watching our broadcast today is to know that we didn't start our journey with 100% all in learning about our chemicals in all of our cleaning products, our household cleaning supplies, our cosmetics, our food. This was a journey. So this is I'm 6 years in, Jean's about 8 years in, but Jean's also a chemistry teacher. So has that extra knowledge that I didn't have, that so many of us don't have.
Right.
So it's a journey, and take baby steps. When Nick and I first started this, it was like, the more you know. We adopted we want to educate ourselves. We want to start looking at this on a global, as a global lifestyle, because we're being so careful about what we eat now so that we can heal the inside of us, but we also have to now think about everything around us. But baby steps, start with understanding what your toothpaste has in it, or simply start by learning what your dish soap has in it. And now that Jean's explained to us about how that affects our water, it's something to start thinking about environmentally and how that affects you. And how the birth defects that are potential with the water and those chemicals is just huge. And we have such a spike in autism now, and cancer and autoimmune disease, and this has been since the 50s.
Let's go back to autism for just 1 second.
Yeah.
When I was a kid in the 60s, I didn't know one kid that was autistic. Not one.
Me neither. No,
not one.
Not one.
And I didn't meet an autistic child until it was in the 90s. Okay? Yeah. Now, 1 in 68.
It's too many.
And I heard a very disturbing statistic that I want to track down, that I heard someone say 1 out of 2 by 2050 is going to be autistic. And here's the thing, is like,
that makes me crazy.
How can we afford this as a culture, a society? How can we afford this? Right. How can we understand? Because if you can't have a member of your society who can't function and interact in a normal way,
who's going to be taking care of us? I mean, half of the population is going to need special care.
Yeah. And if you've dealt with anybody who's autistic, I mean, there's a spectrum. There's a spectrum.
I have a cousin who's autistic.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not easy.
No.
It's not easy.
Anyway.
It's not easy. So those are just the things that the Starch Queens program that we do is, it's all based on education and coaching, and we have a great community, and our purpose in this mission in our life is to share our knowledge with all of you.
Yes.
If you are interested in the lifestyle, it doesn't have to be just about the weight loss, but if you want to learn more, we have every month.
I'm going to blow you away with my education.
So out of every month, there are 20 days of education. Jean, give us some of the topics that were just for this month.
My gosh.
We've had.
Wait. Let me look it up. Let me pull it up because I can read. Okay. I can roll through this. Okay. Give me 1 second.
So these are some of the daily topics that we don't have any education on Saturdays and Sundays, because those are kind of like catch up and makeup days, and we want you back
chop,
cooking.
And prep.
Chop and prep. We want you getting ready for the next week. Okay, Jean, what do we had this month?
I'm coming.
Oh,
okay. So I got it. Okay, so we have 4 Q&A sessions. We have 4 webinars. The webinars we've done this month: tips and tricks to plant-based living, exercise that protects the brain, calorie density, and build your cognitive reserve. So those are the 4 webinars. And by the way, we record these webinars and we've been putting it up on the new website, Starch Queens, sqweightloss.com. So anybody who's part of this program can go back and watch all of these as part of the program. Okay.
Yeah.
So educational topics covered this month for March. Why? Why are you doing this? You got to know and understand your why. Preparation, chop, prep. Why no oil? Health hazards of cast iron. Sugar. What are toxins? Calorie density. Label reading. Fiber. Emotional eating. Exercise. Sleep. Foods for beautiful skin. Food addiction. Cancer. Colonoscopy. Mammography. Gut biome. Microwaves. Eating out. Alcohol. Keep educating yourself, and reflection.
Yeah,
that's what we're covered this month.
That's how this is a lifestyle.
Yeah, every month is different. So
yeah, but we do take the topics, because you can talk for days about any one of these topics. So we'll add new information to it, or we'll take it to the next level. So this is a lifestyle. The Starch Queens program is a lifestyle and weight loss program, and it's about education. And Jean does this amazing amount of research and legwork, and puts these, she has her PhD in education, and she's putting it to good use. And
then Nancy does Driving with Nancy in the morning. This is amazing. She takes the educational topic and reads through all the material, and she knows a lot of this stuff already. And then as she's driving to work, she puts her camera up on the dash and she talks to you, and she gets in your head. Oh my God.
I like to get in your head, because that's where it is. That's where our issues are, is inside our head.
And she does.
Emotional eating, our fears, what's preventing us from getting out of our comfort zone. And I've been there, done that. Jean's been there, done that. And so what we're doing is we're just sharing our information and what worked for us. And as God is my witness, if I can do it, anybody can do it. So, and so again, we're going to give you the sales pitch here for what does it cost you? $97. $97 joins the weight loss program and lifestyle program. If you're part of Plant-Based Chico or part of Plant-Based Westchester, it's $57 to join. And then it's $27.95 a month. So that breaks down to just a little over 90 cents a day. And there is no place that you're going to get online or in any book the type of information that Jean and I provide you, because we give you the education, we give you our experience, and we give you how we've applied it and how it's worked for us and how it's changed our lives, how our health is improved, how we're no longer, I mean, how much you're paying every month on prescription medications.
Yeah.
You know, and we're talking 90 cents a day. I mean, zero. I mean, 55 years old, zero prescription medication. So that is the facts, Jack. We can get you where you want to be on your health destiny. All you got to do is step past that fear and sign up and let us help you reach your healthy destination, because we can do it. And our program is guaranteed. That's my sales pitch. We want to thank all of you for joining us. Thank you all for joining us. We are so appreciative. We want you to be healthy, happy, chemical-free, living your best life, because dang it, like when my dad died, right before he died, he said, Nancy, get to living. You only got one life and it's too damn short. So here I am doing my calling, and I'm getting all teary-eyed, because you guys, there's no secret to this lifestyle. You just got to do it. That's it. It's not hard.
But the thing is, I can do. I don't, you know, most of my friends my age can't keep up with me. Not that I'm saying I'm some, you know, rock superstar, but my God. Okay. All right. I'm going to join with you, Nancy. I said I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to join. I got my new Fitbit. Okay. So I'm going to join. All right. I'm not going to keep up with her. I'm going to, you noticed I was ignoring them, huh?
Yeah. Hello. Cold shoulder.
All right, I'm gonna step it up. Okay, I'm not gonna keep up with her like 4,000 steps a minute. You know,
I wish.
But anyway, I'm gonna do it. But that's the thing, is you connect with people and you start to change your health destiny, and that's what this is about. So,
and we're gonna end on what book you're reading right now, Jean?
Oh, I'm still on food seduction, breaking the food seduction, because I haven't had a chance. This is breaking the food seduction by Dr. Neil Bernard.
So you're not seduced by it yet? No. I'm seduced by Rich Roll. Hubba. Rich Roll, man, that man. Ooh, I'm reading his second release of Finding Ultra. So I read his first release, and I treated myself as my reward for last month. I think I could give myself a couple rewards, actually. So anyway, I got his second release Audible book where he's narrating it, and I'm not kidding you. If you have not heard of Rich Roll, he is phenomenal. His book, Finding Ultra, I'm just, when we're done here, I'm going to go make my dinner. I'm going to do some homework, and I am going to tune into Rich Roll. Finding Ultra is a book about his journey from being a alcoholic attorney to a ultra athlete, ultra athlete. He's vegan. He's written books. Him and his wife have a plant-powered recipe and lifestyle book. So Finding Ultra right now, I am so smitten and in love with that book right now. It's not even funny. And I love those kind of books like Eat to Live with Scott Jurek, but Finding Ultra is worth every cent. And I'm only on like chapter 6. And if I could buy it again, I'd buy it again. It's so good. It's great. All right.
Awesome. Let's wrap this up.
It's a wrap. High five.
Yeah.
High five.
High five. And
go throw those Scentsy waxes away. And see you next Tuesday on Talking Tuesday with the Starch Queens. Good night, everybody.
Night, John Boy.